wanna touch your life. I wanna be the change. I'm gonna shine my light. I'm gonna make a difference. Touch your life. Be the change. Shine my light. And make a difference. You're the one to make the world a much better place. You're the one. You're touching lives.
At the launch of Touching Lives, Airtel Nigeria announced an ambitious sustainability agenda with a strong focus on providing access to digital learning for underprivileged children. Working closely with the government to uplift the standard of primary education through the adoption of schools and providing access via financial inclusion to the underbanked and unbanked. To implement this agenda, Airtel Nigeria, through Airtel Touching Lives, will seek causes and opportunities that speak broadly to the digital and financial inclusion, as well as the adoption of schools. I'm your host, Michelle Dede, and tonight we have so much to get through, so let's not waste any more time.
Touching lives.
Technology is all around us and impacts every part of our lives. For many years, the IT industry was a very male-dominated industry with very few female participants, but the change is coming. Women in Technology, W.TEC, is an NGO working for the economic and social empowerment of girls and women using technology. And in our new story, we visit Dr. Chinwe Muomalo, who has dedicated her life to perinatal asphyxia, which is the lack of oxygen delivery to baby before, during, and after birth. In Nigeria, this remains the leading cause of death in the neonatal period, second only to prematurity.
Touching lives.
Technology is a game changer in today's world. Women's participation in technology is really bad. Globally, of the people who are studying STEM-related courses, only 35% are women. I set up the Women's Technology Empowerment Center in 2008 because the research was showing so many reasons for women not being in this space. And I started thinking about what I could do about that. So several years later, W.TEC was the result. We found that lack of access to computers and to the internet was really a challenge. And so the makerspace came out of that. We don't need computers, we don't need the internet. We are using scrap and what's considered refuse material, and we are building things out of it.
When I was growing up, I never thought I could work in technology because I did not see any woman working in technology.
I used to think making technology was just for boys, but not anymore. It's for everybody.
Airtel, of course, would like to support the work that you're doing. So Airtel will provide machinery, including glue guns, soldering iron, solar panels, and other electronic components deployed in training at your center.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, Airtel.
They're also going to provide a generator set to keep the center running.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Getting all of this, what do you think this will do for the work that you're doing and for the girls?
It's going to make the work easier, for sure. More girls are going to be inspired to come when they see, that there are people out there who are thinking of them, who are looking out for them, who are supporting them. So this is going to do so much for them. They're going to be really encouraged. We in W.TEC, are encouraged, and we're very thankful and appreciative for this.
Touching lives.
With the fourth industrial revolution upon us, the work W.TEC is doing by educating young women in the technology space is incredible.
My name is Orelua Leshi. I'm the founder and executive director of the Women's Technology Empowerment Center, W.TEC. We're a non-profit organization based in Lagos, Nigeria, working to help close the gender gap in technology. When we started, there wasn't really a lot of awareness about what this was all about and why it was important to get more girls and women into technology. We were one of the first or earlier organizations to do this work. So I'd like to think that we've developed a track record over the last 14 and a half years of the work we do. We have worked with over 31,000 girls and women in this time. Some of them are studying STEM degrees in university. Some of them have graduated and are working. Some have decided not to pursue a science, technology, engineering career, but they are using technology in their chosen field of work, and they're very confident, very confident users of technology. So it was a very big surprise to be nominated for Airtel Touching Lives. I've seen the show before, but then getting the news that we had been nominated, then we were shortlisted, felt like a huge honor. It was a huge honor because I'm sure there were many organizations across the country that applied for it, but only some were actually selected and moved forward. So when we got the news that we did, I think we were all very happy. We were all very proud, that we had been able to make it that far, to be selected, to be recognized. And I think it also showed that the work that we're doing is important, it's making a difference, it's having an impact on the girls and women we're working with. So we got 10 brand new laptops, we got 10 solar panels, and we got 5 batteries. We also got 30 Arduino kits, and they've all been invaluable, I must say. In terms of the solar panels and the batteries, we all know what the electricity situation is in Nigeria, and also how prices of fuel has gone up over the last year, like more than doubled. So for us, we need electricity to do our work because we're working with the internet, we're working with computers and all our other equipment. And so it was quite prohibitive having to pay, so much money to fuel your generator. But now that we have these solar panels, we have 24-hour electricity. So between whatever, PHCN supply there is, the rest of the time we're using our solar panels. So that's been fantastic. So I would say kudos to Airtel Touching Lives for doing this. Not everyone thinks to reward people who are making a change. So more grease to your elbows. There's still a lot of work to do because there's still a lot of need in the country. So well done and thank you so much.
What a fantastic facility the W.TEC has created, and it's so good to see the help that Airtel Touching Lives has provided to the school. You never know, the next Elon Musk might just come out of the W.TEC program. To join the conversation and interact with tonight's show, you can visit our social media handles. You'll find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Touching lives.
Welcome back to Airtel Touching Lives. Studies have shown that 60% of the deaths in babies under 5 occur in the first month of life. Out of this, 30% occur in the first week of life, out of which 30% happens the day the babies are born. Perinatal asphyxia is defined as the lack of oxygen to the baby before, during, or after birth, and it remains a leading cause of death in neonatal period, second only to prematurity. Newborns who survive perinatal asphyxia may have long-term consequences such as cerebral palsy, with varying degrees of mental retardation, and in many cases, death from lack of oxygen. This represents a major public health problem with a huge negative impact on the social, economic, and psychological impact on the society at large. Thus, interventions that focus on reducing perinatal asphyxia in newborns will have a significant impact on attaining the UN's Sustainable Development Goals and improving the general quality of life. Let's have a look at this phenomenal story.
For every baby that dies, we lose an opportunity. We lose a chance of producing something great. Because when you look at the world leaders, when you look at every person that matters, that makes a meaning to life right now, once upon a time, they were born. Once upon a time, there was a skilled health personnel who was there to help them. My name is Chinwe Muomalo. I'm a consultant pediatrician, and I've undergone various trainings in the field of neonatology. So neonatology is basically that specialized field that takes care of newborn babies up till 1 month of life. There's really a need for that field because About 60% of deaths of children under 5 happen in the first month of life. We have challenges, the traditional birth attendants, the churches with their, prophecies, the literacy level of these women. So what happens is that they don't go for antenatals. Of course, poverty also plays a role. So now imagine this kind of a scenario. Someone that is hypertensive, someone that has malaria is giving birth to a baby in a home. No hygiene, no sanitation. The baby comes out. No oxygen, no skilled personnel. So I'm just listing the things that all contribute to this. So Nigeria remains the second highest neonatal death, second to India. So it's really, really a huge burden. Cradle and Mom Specialist Hospital was birthed out of a need to have something special for newborn babies. So when the hospital started off, we noticed that babies were being born at these villages, and then the babies are transported on motorbikes, open cars, buses, and by the time they get to the hospital, they are dead.
We've had a lot of cases where babies are brought in polythene bags, nylon bags, wrapped. Sometimes 2 babies, wrapped.
It was quite saddening. Each time I see a car drive in here, a bus drive in here, my heart is beating. Like, what do we have here? Now at birth, the baby now has to come out and take its own breath independent of the mother. If for any reason that process does not happen, the baby is unable to get oxygen in, so the brain does not get oxygen, the heart does not get oxygen, and then we say the baby has perinatal asphyxia, that's oxygen lack to the vital organs. So within 2-3 minutes of not getting oxygen, there is a permanent brain damage.
So we found out that a lot of parents, especially for those in the rural areas, they do not go for antenatal, and that's the place where you are able to find out if the baby has any issues. They do not take their routine drugs. They also do not look out for hospitals who have equipment in case there is an issue after they have delivered. They do not ask questions to say, when my baby comes out, do you have all that it takes to resuscitate my baby if my baby has respiratory issues?
So at a stage, I had to have a meeting with my staff to say, look, if we don't reach out to these people and we sit here, they are going to keep bringing these babies to us because they honestly mean well, but that's what they know how to do. So can we get feedback to these people, find out what happened, what led to this, what did you do? So what we have tried to do, our passion and everything that we're about is, how do we get across to these people that have these babies and ensure that they know what to do when these babies come out? And if they have challenges, even when we've told them what to do, the center is here for them. So unless we have skilled bed attendants at the point of delivery, ensuring that there is some form of free antenatal care for these mothers who are unable to afford it, improving the healthcare system generally and the funding in the healthcare sector, there would really be no change in the neonatal mortality rates. So mortality is dependent on the skill of the health attendant who is sitting or standing at the foot of the baby when it takes its first breath or when it tries to take its first breath. Basically, what helping babies breathe is, it tries to bring it down to the basics, to say, this is what we need to do and this is how it's done. So we started going to train them. Sometimes we bring them here if we can, go through the process, find out what do you do, how do you do it, and then put them through the basic training You will suck the mouth before what? The nose. And before what?
I've learned that during resuscitation, 2 clothes are required. The first one is to be removed immediately after wiping the baby's face, then using the second one, then putting the baby in a sniff position. It helps in opening the airway. Then I've also learned the use of how the amber bag is to be used to achieve effective breathing.
So, but one of the challenges that we keep having is, even after you finish training them, they don't have oxygen cylinders. They don't have the amber bags. They don't have the materials to work with. So at a stage, we also had to start looking for how to ensure that they get this equipment. One of the things that we also do, we monitor, we evaluate, we visit. How has your experience been? And it's really been wonderful. Like when we get there and we hear, oh, we had a baby that didn't breathe. And then we did this, that, and the baby took a breath. So we had a woman who was referred to the hospital for preterm care. It was expected as multiple pregnancies because the number of babies in the womb are so many. So they usually come out earlier.
They were in the theater. Actually, I was sitting at the lobby, but I had them, run around, and
the first baby came out preterm, not breathing. The first person started resuscitating. The second baby came not breathing.
Immediately, they rushed them upstairs and put them into the incubator.
Third baby came not breathing, and I took the third baby.
Even at that number 3, I was a bit afraid, because of my wife, her health, because of the dangers that are, related to multiple pregnancies.
So here we were trying to make these babies breathe, and then the obstetrician says, "There's a 4th baby."
I say, 4th? It was 4, it was wow.
Within seconds, they had received respiratory support. Within minutes, they were all in the incubator. They didn't need to travel. The incubator gave the warmth that was needed, the respiratory support, the staff were skilled. Those babies went home.
And I really thank the hospital, Credit My Mom Hospital. They really did their best in making sure those babies survived.
My people are always like, "Why are you doing this? You're saying there's no money and you're doing it." I'm like, you guys don't understand. For every person that walks in here and understands what to do, you've left a legacy. We need to give every newborn a chance. So that is the reason, that is the objective. That's what has led us to get into this very rare field of taking care of that voiceless newborns.
That was so beautiful to watch and also so informative. And this incredible facility is right here in Nigeria. What an amazing hospital. Don't go anywhere because right after the break, we'll be meeting Dr. Chinwe Muomalo, the driving force behind helping babies breathe. To join the conversation and interact with tonight's show, you can visit us on our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Touching lives.
Welcome back to Airtel Touching Lives. With us in the studio today are Dr. Chinwe Muomalo and Mr. Ephraim Anam. Welcome and good evening.
Thank you.
Please tell us, why did you decide to specialize in neonatal pre-care?
Every human being starts as a baby and then grows up to become whatever it is that they would be like later in life. So I felt it was really not okay for us to neglect that period. And considering the fact that 50% of lives are lost in the first 1 month of life, and then about 50 or 60% in the first week of life. So it's clear that, if you need to save lives, if you're really interested in the business of saving lives, you need to look at that critical moment when a lot of lives are lost.
Why do you think there's such a shortage of that specialization in Nigeria, considering it's at such a high percentage?
Because it's very expensive. taking care of a preterm, just imagine of a neonate, the light cannot go off, the incubator must be on. You have to have, yes, you have to have like respiratory support, ventilatory support. That ventilator, we talked about COVID, you have to have a ventilator to keep their lungs open. So most people who want like low-hanging fruits would not want to go there because it's not rewarding, because the parents feel like, oh, let the baby die, we can have another one. Yes, some parents have actually said, oh, while the parents are worried, like, I want to save my child, the community tells them, oh, let the baby go.
And they're influenced by the community.
You know, yes.
To let the child.
So those, because of that, the emphasis is not so much on newborns.
You have, you know, Mr. Ephraim here with us today, and his wife was one of your patients that came in and was expecting 3 children, is what you thought, but ended up with quadruplets. So congratulations, first of all. I mean, that's a fantastic thing. I'm sure you're very happy. Children are a blessing. But in this economy, because Nigeria, as we know, is an expensive place to live, especially now, it's challenging to take care of 1 child in this economy, let alone 4. So how are you coping?
Well, that's a very big challenge.
But fortunately, you also met Dr. Chinwe, who helped your wife. I was told that you went above and beyond, as you said, because he couldn't cover all of the finances needed, and you came through for his family. Now, Airtel believes in giving back, and that's why both of you are here today, because they would like to give back. I'm going to start with you, Dr. Chinwe, first. To your hospital, Airtel Touching Lives would like to give you, this is one of many prizes. First, 100 Ambu bags. As we saw in the clip, those are the bags that are used to help the babies breathe. So they're going to be getting 100 of those bags. And you're also going to get 50 mini oxygen cylinders with regulators. And that's not all. We're going to be giving you 4 neonatal newborn stimulators.
Whoa! Wow!
I don't even need to. No, wait. I don't even need to ask how you feel, because I mean we can tell.
Oh my God! Wow! We've always had problems with training. Like, you know, you have like so many people to get across to, and so limited things to work with. So to have 4 extra simulators means like we're going to like be able to save like more babies. So that's why it looks as if I'm acting. I'm like super excited.
I can tell.
Oh my God.
I can tell.
Wow.
There's more. There's more. There's more. There's more.
Wow.
100 pulse oximeters, and 1 Lido Mama Birthie mannequin, and then 1 Lido Prima Ann mannequin. Wow. But Dr. Chinwe, that's not all.
Oh my God.
We're going to be donating medical funds for the hospital to continue with all that you've been doing. And that will be to the tune of 4 million naira.
Wow! Oh my God. I have to give you a hug. Thank you so much. Can I give you a hug?
Of course.
Oh my God. This is amazing. Honestly. Oh my God.
Congratulations.
Wow,
congratulations. Wow. And thank you for all that you're doing. Thank you for all that your team is
doing.
Let's see.
Thank you so much. This will touch the lives of babies, of people that are yet unborn, not just the lives of the living. This goes. I'm excited. Let me stop rambling. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh,
you're welcome. And Mr. Ephraim, Airtel would like to give your children an educational scholarship. Yes, worth 1.5 million naira. And that's going to be put into our smart cash app that Airtel has. It's a mobile app that Airtel has. So the money will be put in there. You can use that, and basically it's like an online account. Okay. So people can put more money in there, and you have access to it, and you can use it to pay bills, pay for other things for your children. But that is not all. They're also going to cover the medical debts of your quadruplets as well.
Madam, thank you very, very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming onto the show and
Thank
for
you
all that
very
you do.
much.
Thank you. It's been such a wonderful episode having both of them on the show. I hope that you were inspired by today's show and all the amazing work that Dr. Chinwe has been doing. Next week, we revisit a story of innovation. In 2017, Richard Ogayemi started his farming business, a self-constructed pyramid house for poultry farming, until he was diagnosed with osteoporosis. And in our new story, we visit Ifeanyi Obiojogu, who before venturing into the fish farming business, worked as a machine operator. After leaving the factory, he became passionate about fish farming and he partnered with a friend who was also in the same business. We'll see you next week on Airtel Touching Lives. Good night.
Touching lives. I wanna touch your life. I wanna be the change. I'm gonna shine my light. I'm gonna make a difference. Touch your life. Be the change. Shine my light. And make a difference. You're the one to make the world a much better place. You're the one. You're the one. Touching. You're the one. Touching lives.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.